What's up, guys? Emyli here with Emlovz, talking with Naeem today about dating as an Iranian man in America. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited to have this conversation, and I think it's super relevant right now with everything that's happening in the world. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm glad to be with you today.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So, you had such an interesting thing to say about kind of the macro. So I had a conversation with several guys about dating as an Asian man in America, and we were talking about how the micro and the macro both influence dating. So the micro is like working on your confidence, your conversation, maybe improving your wardrobe, all of those things and your dating skills. And that's really the micro, and that can influence your dating outcomes. And then we were talking about the macro, which had to do with, where do you live? What is the culture like in the area that you live? What happens when you move from place to place? And how does that influence your dating outcomes?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you said something so interesting that I would love for you to expand upon about, you moved from Iran, right?
Yes.
Yeah, to San Francisco, and how it actually has been, sounds like, helpful for you. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yes, two things. One is like the education, the knowledge, the culture. So in Iran, it is hard. There is nothing like dating. It kind of people are kind of getting used to it and start learning about it. But when I was there like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was not like that. It was most like 0-1. When you like someone, either you're going to marry them, basically means one, or you are not going to even touch them or talk to them, which is 0. But here you have all sort of numbers. You have 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.34. You can do everything. You can have first date, second date, third date. I was in a relationship for 1 year, for 6 months, for 2 years, 7 years, 10 years. So you have all sorts of things. I think that makes it easier. So it gives both parties to get to know each other. Regarding the height, so I am 6'6", which is almost like 2 meters in Middle Eastern version. So in Iran, it was very hard to find clothes. Like it was almost impossible to find shoes, pants, clothes. So I was always some sort of weird guy, nothing could fit my body, and my body was naturally bending over just to show that I am like a shorter version. And then, yeah, there was no knowledge, education, like how to deal with that. So when I came here, I learned that, yeah, basketball players, they are tall, people like tall people. And then in your training, yeah, it looks like height is a big advantage. That's what I'm learning. And here is easier to find clothes. Like shoe size 13 is almost everywhere. My pant size 34 is everywhere. And then the clothes, I have a little bit this line to fit my arms and shoulder. But other than that, yeah, height was a big issue, which is not an issue here.
Yeah, tell me about that. So it's not cool to be tall in Iran?
No, they have a word for that. It's called deraz, D-E-R-A-Z. That means that's excessively, embarrassingly tall, negatively tall. Yeah, oversized, something like that. Yeah. So that's, yeah, I think it's a male dominant country. That's why probably male use this word, because as you said, they might be jealous or something like that. Female don't have much voice in the dating world or sexuality. That's why they don't have a voice. That's why they use this word. Yeah, that's hard. Yeah, that's hard.
So in that case, because I think women have more of a voice, at least in San Francisco, do you think that it has something to do with male-to-male competition in Iran, that maybe it's just guys that are jealous of the taller men, and so they kind of create
Could
that
be.
culture?
It is a tradition. It's not something that came up like 20 or 30 years ago. It's always been like this for generation, I think. Yeah. Super tall. I mean, when I was there like 10, 15 years ago, like sports were important. People we're kind of getting used to things like football player. If you are tall, you have an advantage. If volleyball player, if you are tall, you have an advantage, like basketball, everything. I think people are kind of getting used to that, and especially with the social media from West US penetrating to basically dominating Iran's social media and TV and everything. They are getting used to that. They are kind of learning that, oh, probably that's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And didn't you say there was something else that you had said that was easier for you here than it would have been in Iran?
Yeah, that one was, oh, another one was accent.
Mm-hmm.
So accent, it is sexy here, correct?
I think so.
Boom. Okay. So over there, so we have a lot of immigrants from Afghanistan in Iran. Okay, because of their accent, they have a very, very hard time finding job, finding housing, anything.
Mm-hmm.
And also in Iran locally, like we have Southern accent, Western accent, even in the US. So different states, they have different accents, right? But almost no one cares. But over there, some areas, with those accents, they have problem. When I was there, yeah, they had a problem again finding friends, getting bullied, all these things. They are still there, but getting better. Yeah.
Interesting. And so how do you feel that dating as an Iranian man has impacted you in San Francisco?
I mean, when I learned that accent is a good thing, that was a huge thing. I mean, when you have Middle Eastern accent, people is gonna be a little bit cautious. Is he gonna do anything stupid or wrong? But other than that, yeah, it's gonna build up your confidence. It's gonna build up my confidence. And then I think knowledge is very important. When you actually learn about anything you want to do, if you want to hunt a job, if you want to do dating, if you want to hike, if you want to learn photography, surfing, swimming, boat, everything you want to do, if you learn whatever is fundamental or necessary, that's going to help a lot. That's going to stop you from going through your head and just thinking to yourself and basically stopping yourself. I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Taking class, so everyone who is watching, taking Emyli classes, emlovz, what was that, emlovz.com?
Yeah. Thanks for
So
the plug.
emlovz.com and then sign up. That's great. That's gonna.
I love it. So I think this is such a cool topic because in my dating experiment, I had never dated a Middle Eastern man, but I had always been attracted to them. But I have, there's always innate bias, I think, that we collect from our society, from our parents, from people who maybe don't have exposure. Living in San Francisco, you have exposure to many cultures. And so it becomes like we're all the same, it kind of feels that way. But I remember I dated a Middle Eastern man during the experiment, and I told him, like, I'm a little bit afraid to meet up with you because my mom, which God love her, I love her to death, she doesn't live in San Francisco, but she said, be careful because men treat women differently. And I told him about it. And he said, actually, I would love to educate you on this topic because the media paints us in a certain way. And it was really educational for me to open my mind to that and to have that conversation with him. And I thought it was really courageous of him to be open and vulnerable with me and to share like how the media portrays, Middle Eastern men. And I was curious if you had any thoughts on how that may impact dating here and how women may perceive you, like based on especially what's going on with the media right now.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, I think that's in my mind. Like in my mind, I'm from Iran. It's from Middle East. Therefore, people is going to remind, oh, terrorist, oh, 9/11, and then hostage. All these things that's going to come to my mind. So we are naturally cautious just to not doing those activities. But other than that, yeah, it's going to take time. It's going to take time. And like any other minorities, like Black people, like female in this country and in this world, we have to probably work 10 times more, 10 times harder. Anything you do wrong because of all this stereotyping, it's going to be bald. It's going to be bald. It's going to, oh, he did this. We knew that it's going to happen. So if you have like Black people, female, you have to be 10 times more cautious and working harder and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's had an influence at all on any of your dates?
I used to think that. But now again, I have more knowledge. I know that so here is the difference between non-educated Iranian or Middle Eastern guy and non-educated American, let's say white guy. So American white guy who's not educated, dating is in his blood. Growing up, his aunt, his cousin, they all dated. His sibling all dated someone, right? He heard the story, he watches the movies. It is in his blood. He has 10 times easier time than a Middle Eastern, like Iranian, like me. So my mother and father, they didn't date. My sister, she didn't date. My cousin, none of them dated anyone. Only maybe one now, I remember one or two. Aunt, uncle, grandpa, grandma, none of them. And then for me, it's very, very new. It's just huge cultural shock. So I have to not only learn, but I have to experiment. I have to work a lot of things. I have to work with my fear, with my anxiety. I have to make sure that if something goes wrong, then what's going to be my response? And then so it is I think harder. I'm like a raw food that never did that before or heard anything about that. It's very raw. Yeah.
Interesting. So is it mainly arranged marriages, or how do people get married in Iran?
Yeah, like I was actually thinking about it yesterday. I was like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to talk to Emyli. What kind of topic is going to pop up? Am I talking fast? Do you recommend me to talk slowly, or it's fine?
I think it's great. Okay.
So here is my story. My parents, like, so my father, I think for my father, it was his mom. So my father's mom sees my mom, and then she likes her. And then she talks to my father, this girl that I like you basically to marry if you like him. So my father confirms that. And then my father's mom goes to talk to my mother's mom and her family saying that, hey, we have a son, and then we like your daughter, we want to basically marry her. If they confirm, then they have some sort of 30 minutes or maybe 1 hour of some sort of meeting in my mom's house, and then they talk. If everything goes well, they're going to let potential future groom and bride to talk privately for 30 minutes if basically they like each other. After that 30 minutes private meeting, usually the potential bride's family tell the groom's family that yes, it is confirmed, we approve, accept it. Then they're going to be engaged. They're going to be engaged for, let's say, 2 weeks all the way to 1 or 2 years. After that, they're going to marry. For my father's case, that was very hard. They rejected them almost 10 times, 10, 15 times. But my father's mom didn't give up. She was just, no, you have to give them to me. Just keep pushing. At the end, she got a yes. Yeah.
Wow. Persistence paid off.
Yeah. She was a very, very nice lady. Yeah. We missed her a lot. Yeah.
Aw. And so are your parents, do a lot of people have that romantic love in their marriages, or is it more of like I mean, because you said like when you're American, like a white guy in America, he sees all of this romance and this dating, and it's a part of the culture. Did you see your parents be romantic with each other, or is that not really a part of the culture?
Yeah, in front of us, no, they were not romantic. No, I've never seen anything romantic with them. No, they don't show anything. No. That's why I'm saying it's very hard, because you are not exposed to anything, not movie, not course, not school. So in my high school, my classmates were all guys. Elementary, middle, high school, there was no female. And it is still true. It is still right now true in Iran. There is no mix-up female male. Only on college, which I went to engineering college, which was again 80% male, 20% female. Yeah.
Wow. And didn't you come to the States for your PhD, or you did it over there?
Both. I did over there, and then I came here for another one. Yeah.
Okay. And was that a shock?
No, it was not a technical shock. It was a little bit technical shock because over there is actually more technical. That was a little bit of shock to me. But the cultural shock, it was not a shock. As I said, dating is a shock for me, especially for me. But the cultural, no, I kind of expected all these things like driving, roommate, housing, bars, restaurants, vacation. I kind of expected that. It was not a shock. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And so what is your parents' opinion of you dating in America?
They kind of accepted that. My mom tried a little bit to find me someone over there, but yeah, I didn't show any green light whatsoever. And then, but yeah, so I have been under pressure by my mom because she's a mom. I'm the only son she has, and then she wants me to marry because she wants grandkids. So I have been under pressure. That's just no question. But yeah, they are getting old and they are losing their power. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And so do you feel like dating apps here help or hurt Iranian men?
I think so. Let's talk about myself. Again, there are some people, some Iranian men who have this dating in their blood. They don't need training. They just have it. It just works. One of example is my friend. When that was interesting. So how many years ago? He came here 2009, graduated 2013. So it was, I think, around 2012 or 2013. He was kind of graduating, and then I told him to use eHarmony for dating. So he signed up for eHarmony. In 2 months, the first woman that he finds, he dates her and marry her, and they are still married for 10 years now, two
Wow.
kids right now. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. It is in some people's blood. It's just, and he was doing everything right. The first thing he did was he bought a screw gun and he started fixing things in his house. So he was a handyman. So at the time, I had no clue, no idea what was going on. Now, after 10 years, after being exposed to all this training and this, now I understand that, oh, that was handyman. Handyman is sexy. Female like handyman. And then so he was short, but he was working out. He was working on his muscles. So he had these huge muscles. At the time, again, I had no clue what's going on. Now I understand muscle. That's a big thing for a guy. And then he bought a house. He has like 3-bedroom house, and then he had a dog. He had 2 dogs. Again, at the time, I had no clue why he has a dog. Now, after 10 years, I understand dogs, again, very important. It's going to help dating.
Yeah.
So he had in his blood, and it worked out for him. But yeah, I think there's exception. Maybe 10% of us, Iranian people, they have it in blood. But others, I think dating app is good if you don't have it in your blood. You are going to get hurt because you don't know the statistics. You're going to get rejected left and right. It's even worse than finding a job, and it's not you should not take it personally. It's something else. There are tons of things going on with their head, with their sister, with their mom, with their girlfriend. It's just tons of things. So you have to be prepared. If you are not prepared, like starting driving for the first time, you're going to have an accident, and it's going to have mental effect. It's going to have physical effect. You're going to cause trouble. So datings are good, but if you can add some sort of education and expectation, that would be great because it's going to help you. But at the end of the day, when it goes to online website or app, it becomes on market. Then you have to compete with others. Again, you have to be equipped with best pictures, best clothes, best education, best talking, conversation, houses, financial, everything to beat them. If you don't have it, which most likely you don't, then you have to go off market. I think that's the best thing. Then you have to improve your skill for off market so you can have some bargain. Then how are you going to go off market? But yeah, that's where I am right now.
Yeah. Working on the micro for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Let's see if I have some other interesting ones. What race do you think in San Francisco has the easiest time in dating?
Male or female?
Ooh, both.
Easiest time for dating, is that right, what you said?
Yeah. Who has
What
it the easiest?
I think I see a lot of black guys. They date a lot, and a lot of pretty women, which is good for them. I'm not really an expert, but I think, yeah, I mean, white guys, tall, handsome, blonde, probably if they work in a tech or they are successful, probably they have an easier time. Again, because it's in their blood, and then they know how to talk, they know expectation, everything. Let's see. In female, yeah, same thing. White girls, blonde, they have a lot of interest, I think. Yeah. Is that
Yeah.
right? I think so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, yeah. What I think is interesting is you're coming from the place of like, because it's already in their culture, they've already had exposure to it. So really, it may be more about the exposure and having that education and those people to model, and less about like the color of your skin. So maybe just having more exposure to dating and having a framework for what's successful and what's not could help anybody, no matter what.
That's very true. Yeah. When these things, anything get exposed to the public, everyone has access to it. If you want to be successful, you have to have all knowledge. You have to practice. If other people practice and improve their skills, you have to practice too. That's the only way. Yeah. You can't be in your head and then expect something great to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I love it. Let's see. What would you like American women to know about dating Iranian men?
I mean, they are good people. They are highly educated and they are good people. Sometimes they might do something wrong here and there, but you have to talk to them. If you don't talk to them, they are not going to learn and they are going to repeat that, especially if you get offended and some sort of punish them, it's going to backfire. They're not going to like it. Most likely, if they do something wrong because they don't know that, they are not educated, they don't know that. The intention is good. So you have to talk to them. I know it's not natural to you to talk to them, but you have to kind of force yourself, write it down, use words, because that's how their brain work. They have to hear exactly the word. So talk to them, then it's going to work. If you talk to them and they're just repeating 2-3 times, then punish them. That's fine.
It's all about communication and
Exactly.
respect. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Do you think that the media has influenced the way that American women view Iranian men, either for the good or bad?
I think so, yeah. For example, for 9/11, everyone, I think, in America think that Iranian probably were a big part, but we were not. We had nothing to do with that. No one who did 9/11 was Iranian, and then nothing like that. But yeah, definitely media has something to do with that, and probably Iranian did something too to trigger media. So probably it's both parties. Yeah, they are not 100% innocent. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Cool. Anything else that you think that people should know or you want to add?
No, they are just good people. Just trust them. They spend time. They are going to get better. They have a lot of potential. Potential is high, but just give them a chance. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, Naeem, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with me. I think this is a really important topic, especially right now.
Yeah.
And I think you're just an amazing human being, and I bet all the ladies are all after you. So I'm really excited that we could have you on today. And if you guys like this video, make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and leave us a comment in the comments below if this is relevant for you, whether you're an Iranian man or really any culture dating in America. It's always interesting to hear different perspectives. And I think, a lot of cultures, the media really shifts the portrayal of them. And I think it's important to have these conversations. So would love to hear from you in the comments below. Thank you again, Naeem, for chatting
Thank
with
you
me
for having
today.
me. It was great
Awesome.
meeting you again. Yeah.